Okay, now is my kind of talking to you guys about like what's been going on with me, where I've been, things like that. And I've wanted to talk about this for a little bit, but and I always kind of touched on it, but I've always been kind of nervous and just nervous about sharing this kind of stuff with you guys because the internet can be a good place and can be a really supportive place, but it also can be very unforgiving and kind of mean place too. And so I've battled back and forth on do I do I share this part of my life with you guys, or do I keep it kind of to myself? And I think I've always said to I've gotten to the point where I'll share what I'm comfortable with sharing, but some things I may not be totally comfortable with, and that's fine. And I can keep in private what I want. But I feel like my video content and things like that have kind of reflected where I am personally. And I think with anybody, you can tell when somebody's down or they aren't 100% being themselves and things like that. And I think people notice those things. And so, because personally, I notice those things because I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot and all the time. My favorite, I'll give you some of my favorite YouTubers. My all time will always be my favorite is Bunny from Graveyard Girl. I love her. In my mind, she and I are like really close friends. Which I've never talked to her, met her, anything like that. But I don't know. I feel like if I were to meet her, we would be really good friends. But like, she's one I watch a lot. I also watch Alexa Penavega and Carlos Penavega. I love them and their family vlogs. And that they changed their name on their thing, so I don't. It used to be Lex Loves Lows, but I don't know now what they changed it to, even though I watch their videos. I just know they changed it. I listen to Sean and Andrew Johnson. I listen to Christine from Poland Bananas Books. I listened to Jesse from Jesse the Reader. If you can't tell, I started out in BookTube. That was my in on YouTube, and then I've kind of ventured and done my own thing, which I love that I can be versatile on here. And I love that part of YouTube, is that you can be kind of fun and you're only limited by your own imagination and things like that. And so I love that part about YouTube. But like I said, I definitely, if you can't tell, started my start in BookTube. And I could have probably been successful back in the day if I hadn't accidentally deleted my channel when I went off to ministry school. That's a whole different thing. But I don't know. I just feel like that the best content a creator can give is when they give it from 100% themselves. And obviously you can't, like, there is this wall of like, you're being filmed and you're not maybe completely totally yourself, but I feel like the most authentic and genuine thing a creator can do is just be who they are. And that's why honestly I love Bunny from Graveyard Girl. Does she put her whole life on blast down here? No. And I respect that too. She doesn't just, she does keep some things private, but she is herself, and I like that and applaud that. And honestly, I feel like YouTube like back in the day was a lot different than it is now. I feel like now it's about like views and can you speak to the masses and be popular and things like that. And when I got in the game almost 5 years ago, I think, like before on my other channel, before I deleted it on accident, I had about 80 subscribers. Um, and I feel like people were more supportive of small creators back in the day too. Because nobody really knew what they were doing. People just were sharing their craft and, you know, learning along the way and things like that. Um, but I feel like I said, now it's more about views and it's more about AdSense. More about sponsorships and things like that, instead of what it originally used to be, was creators connecting on a passion and things that they love. And you know, so but anyway, all that being said, personally, in my personal life, that's an interesting in my personal life, um I have dealt with, I'm gonna be really honest, I've dealt with depression and anxiety and things like that. And I always talked about like um taking care of it, doing something about it. And there was a point in my life where I was very intentional with my mental health and like taking care of myself and, you know, um, doing the things I'm passionate about and like to do, and, you know, consciously living in the now and the present. And I did that for a while, and then disappointments started happening, things started changing, and everything I thought, you know, I was gonna do and I, like, kind of backfired, and I just found myself again in this hole that I couldn't get out of. And I disconnected like I always do when things change and I'm not ready to accept things as they are and stuff like that. And I just got really sad, really closed off. And I got to a place that I just was like, you know, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep closing myself off from the world when things are too much for me to handle. And so last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, my parents and I went to Indiana, where most of our family is, um, and we visited. And I spent time with my grandparents and things, and it honestly gave me a lot of perspective. And I'm not going to get into what's going on with them because that is not for me to share. And I want to keep that private. But just talking to them and being with them and things like that, and then also being around my family and things like that, um, it gave me a lot of perspective. And I was just thinking, you know, I don't want to be, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s and wishing that I would have done something about this stuff. Wishing that I would have done something about this stuff and living my life and realizing that I'm at the end of my life and I didn't live it. Because that would be just awful to be like, okay, I didn't live my life, and the only legacy I have to leave behind is sadness and darkness and things like that. Is I don't want to waste my life, and I don't want to because also, change of thought, it affects the people around you, and you don't realize it until it's too late to realize it. And I don't want to do that, and I don't want to be that person. And so, yeah, it just gave me a lot of perspective being around my family and talking to them and realizing how much I miss them. So yeah, it definitely gave me a different perspective. So I made an appointment for August 25th with a psychiatrist, and I am hoping and praying that it can help me a lot and give me tools to cope and teach me things about why I behave the way I do and why I think the way I do, and maybe it can set me on a new path. Because also I'm becoming more introspective about the fact that I'm going to be 27 in August. I'm getting closer to 30, and I look back at my life and I've just kind of watched my life move like across the screen and watch my life and not actively participated in it. And it's kind of sad and hard to swallow the fact that like I've kind of just watched my life pass by. But I can do something about it now and maybe actively participate in my life now rather than watch the rest of it pass by. So that was a lot of thoughts and things like that, but I just felt like I needed to give you guys an update on just what my life has been like. I've been working a whole lot, and most days I just feel so tired and I don't want to do anything else, but I'm trying to delve into what I'm passionate about, and YouTube was one of my first passions, and it's still a passion of mine, as I'm like watching YouTube videos about other people and like thinking about it is like, I'm still passionate about YouTube even though I only have like 6 subscribers, and that's okay. If I'm just getting across, like, that's awesome that I get to talk to 6 people and that they're willing to let me into their life in their home and things like that. And I take that seriously, and I don't want to be flippant with that and be like whatever, because you guys that are watching, that means a whole lot to me that you would just let me sit and have this time with you and things like that. And so I want to delve back into YouTube. I don't want to just do booktube videos like I said, because I'm so passionate about so many different things. But I feel like too, this gives me kind of accountability and diving into my passion of like, I love art, I love music, I love books, and things like that, to actually dive into that and see where it takes me. And yeah, I want to say thank you. Like I said, I've been on here for 5 years, and I want to thank you for everybody who's been so supportive on here. I appreciate you guys and your encouragement, and it means a lot to me. It really does. And I don't know how much longer I'll be able to have this platform, but I want to use it for good and to spread life and things like that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we can have more of these sit down talks because I love them. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.